Are you all caught up on Put a Ring on It on the All Network? Well, okay, we're going to get into episode number 2 coming right at you. Stay tuned. Hi there, Simply Stubbies. Welcome back to the Simply Stacey YouTube channel. We're actually here on location. You guys can hear the waterfall behind me. I am here to do a review of Ready to Love. I am in Orlando, Florida on vacation. And I just want you guys to see what little beauty I am looking at right now. But yes, I'm out on a little gazebo and I wanted to go ahead and film for you guys. Sorry that it is slightly late. It came on Friday and today is Tuesday and I'm just not filming it. And it's all kind of makeshift because I didn't bring my normal notebook that I use to take all of my notes in, but just bear with me, guys. Let's get into week number 2. So, week number 2, it starts back where it stopped last week. And Darian, remember, he is Smoke from the group Field Mob. It starts back with Dr. Nicole asking him, did he want to get a new lady to date this week? Or if he wants to continue to date Kaya, who was the lady with the body yaddy yaddy last week that he could not stop going on and on and on about. So, I already knew what he was going to say. I told y'all last week, he said he wants to go out with Kaya again. So, he's the only one of the 3 guys who kept the same lady. Everybody else got someone new. So this week, it is the ladies' turn. So the guys are going to get a chance to get a taste of their own medicine, honey. Because when I say they can take it, but they can't dish it, wait. They can dish it, but they definitely cannot take it. Okay, so, Eric and Jessica are up first. Remember, that is the couple where Eric used to play for the Falcons. He's no longer playing for them, but he was an NFL player. He slid into Jessica's DM, and that's how they've been together. So she has on this little, I want to say it was probably the color of this shirt, but it's like this little bodycon, tight, very, very short, showing all of her curves. Tiny, tight, and short dress is what I wrote down, honey. And she was asking, like, is there any advice, you know? And he was kind of saying to the confessional, like, that it's kind of uncomfortable seeing her getting all ready and, you know, all dressed up for another guy. So I'm like, oh, this already about to be a problem. He is not going to take it well. So the guy shows up at the house. His name is Brandon. Knocks on the door. Eric, she like, I'm gonna go get it. He like, no, I got this. Eric goes downstairs, opens the door, takes a couple of looks at Brandon with an R, without the B. And he basically tells the old boy that he at the wrong house. Like, he sizes him up, closes the door in his face and tells him he at the wrong house. Jessica like, boy, quit playing, go open the door. Brandon apparently already knew he was going to the house of somebody in a relationship, so he didn't seem to take it, you know, any kind of way. He was still standing there when the man came into the house, and the first thing Jessica says when she gets on a date with him is that he's definitely her type. So, Eric, you might got a little something to worry about, because you went on a date with a girl who was your type, and you talking about how you could have stayed the night it came home early morning or something like that last week, but now your girl on a date with a guy that is just her type. Okay, so Brandon says, you know, he's never been in a relationship at all, but he is kind of over his player ways, and I guess maybe he's hoping to maybe settle down. He asks Jessica where she sees herself in 5 years. Of course, she says, you know, married with children. But you know how she's talking and how Eric's talking. I don't know if it's going to be with him or if her dream is actually going to become a reality. So now we're on to Darian and Alexia. Alexia, pro ball player, overseas for the women's league. And then he was the rapper from Field Mob. So he basically says, like, after his date with old girl this past week, he and her like stayed up all night. Things were like they used to be. They, you know, they were just having a good time and talking all night. And, you know, he really enjoys that. Her date comes up, and apparently he is a trainer And so I think the guy Darian makes a little joke like, oh, okay, I see how you be out here with, all the little girls you be training or whatever. He's like, nah, actually, I don't date my clients. Like, he's trying to, put a little salt in his game. Like, you don't want to date him because he be out here with his little clients. He was like, nah, actually, I don't do that. So, next up is Sean and Rashonda. So, Rashonda is corporate. Sean is the actor, creative type. And I think that couple has been together about 3 years. They're the 2 or 3 years. I can't quite remember. Anyway, he was basically saying with his finances. So now Dr. Nicole this season, I'm not sure if she did this last season, but she actually comes to the couple's houses, and this is their turn with Dr. Nicole. So not just only do they do the group sessions, they also do couples counseling. Couple on with her one-on-one kind of, but with the couple. And their biggest issue was finances, and we all know that finances are like one of the number one causes of people breaking up, getting divorced, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really a big deal. He says she's always planning like budgeting and like a year out and all this stuff. And he kind of does like month to month because of his job. He's a creative type. If he's not working, he's not getting paid. And so he can't really plan his money like that. And so it kind of, gets on him when they have those kind of conversations. And he just says that he feels like if he's not actually working, then he's kind of like a bum. And he said there's a family dynamic where, basically all his dad ever did was provide. Like, if he didn't do nothing else, he was going to be a provider. But because he was working so much, he wasn't very present. And Dr. Nicole basically told him, that you're somebody who can change the narrative. You don't have to be your dad. You don't have to operate like your dad did. So change your own narrative. And he basically said that he has a broken heart from his childhood. Okay, so that was their little session with Dr. Nicole, one alone session with her. Next up was Alexia and Chris. So remember, Chris is the trainer, and that is who Alexia is going on a date with. Now, I'm going to have to say now, while Jessica was like, honey, snatch, lock, you, put together, I feel like Alexia is not taking this thing serious because her man is excited to go out with Kaya. Kaya was looking bad, whatever. But I feel like she had on some jeans and just a t-shirt. Like, she didn't put her foot in it. Like, she wasn't trying to, like, give the look. She wasn't giving no look. She just gave, all right, I'm going to go on this date and I'm going to come home vibes. I'm like, girl, at least clean up real good, get cute or something. But anyway, so she said she wanted to have some fun, and he's her type as well. So they went to the batting cages, so maybe that's why she didn't get like super duper cute. But I felt like she could have came a little bit, she could have tried a little harder. Okay, so she did say that she's more comfortable on this day. She's in her element, so she's glad that this is their date. She's athletic. They're hitting balls, look like they're having a good time. She said she could be herself. And then Anders basically, he asked her, does she really know herself? You've been in a relationship for 14 years. She did say that 6 of those years she was overseas, so they were kind of off and on. So really, they ain't been together no entire 14 years. I think they met 14 years ago, they dated, and then off and on here and there. So I don't think you can really count it as 14 years. And maybe that's why they're really not married, because if you tell anybody you've been dating somebody for 14 years and you're not married, that's a whole problem. But anyway, next up is LaShonda. So now LaShonda, she's cute too. She got on her a little mini skirt and a little zebra blouse. I think it was a leather mini black skirt. So she came too to give a look. I don't know what Alexia was doing, but Jessica and LaRonda, and Jessica, they gave what was there was to give. They came with the look. Okay, so basically, Sean is like, can you pin that cleavage? Because like her blouse is kind of low cut, not showing too much, not revealing a lot at all. But here he goes. Can you pin that cleavage up? Now, he had a good time too with the little girl on the little park day last week. So her guy's name is John. He comes in. He says he's like a singer-songwriter. And he actually sings something before she asks him, can he sing? Sean is all sizing him up and saying, you know, he's a little bit corny. He feel like the dude's corny or whatever. But yeah, she has a good time with him. They look like they joking and having a really nice time. Basically, he asks what's her vision. And she says, you know, to be married, to have kids. And so then they're being kind of cutesy with one another, I guess. So he's like, oh, it's always been my dream or something to like throw a grape and have someone catch it in their mouth. So he throws it at her. She catches it right in her mouth. She throws it back. He actually misses, but they laugh about it. It's a cute little situation. So next thing you know, they go back to Sean's house, and this man is like crying. He goes in the bathroom, closes the door, but you can hear him like heaving and stuff. Like he's crying. I'm like, sir, what the hell? You can't take her going on the little date. You don't trust her enough? Or it's like he says he trusts her, but he don't trust the men. He was taking it the hardest of any of the other guys. So they get to the group session, and Dr. Nicole basically asks, like, hey, how was everyone's week? The guys was like, you know, somebody got there, it was real rocky. Alexia and Darren, he basically said that her dude was a dork, and, you know, he basically just hating. That's basically what he was doing. So first up is, that's what they say. And she said she had a good time. It was fun. Jessica and Eric come up. And Jessica was like, you know, he was very attractive. He was nice. Eric got to stop and be like, but you know, when he came in, I had to check him. And then Dr. Nicole's like, well, do you trust her? And he says, you know, no, he don't trust the guys or whatever. Or she basically said, she answers for him, was like, no, he don't trust me or whatever. Next up is LaRonda. She says she had a good time, and then Sean goes into telling how he just got sick and he don't trust other guys, and how he was just really sick to his stomach. And she said, you know, when she got home and saw that, it made her feel away. So I don't like that, because I feel like now she's going to be too conscientious of how he's feeling, and she's not going to be enjoying herself and actually being in the process or whatnot. He goes into his childhood trauma, and he don't want to be like his dad, and just breaks down crying in a group session. And I'm like, sir, you need not just a couples therapy, not this little group situation, but I think you need some real therapy too, because you brought up your childhood trauma a lot, which means you probably haven't dealt with that yet. And Dr. Nicole here for the relationship portion, not necessarily your private. So he probably needs to get a separate therapist, you know, but he does need to do whatever it takes. But I don't want LaRonda feeling like she can't do and be because of that, right? So anyway, it was real. I feel like it was an okay episode. Nothing major happened. I don't think any of the ladies were seriously feeling the guys. Like with the guys, they always gonna test the water, honey. They gonna be all in. But this one was just an okay episode. So now, you know, at the end, they have to decide if they're going to go on a date again or they're going to pick somebody new. So basically, Alexia said, I'll pass. He didn't show me what I needed on the first date. Jessica also said she would pass. And she said he was 32 years old and he ain't never been in a relationship. That's kind of a red flag for her. And then LaRonda said, you know, he was a great guy and they clicked. But she's not going to get a second date because she saw how it affected Sean. Now, mind you, both of them are playing games, because I feel like if you're not going to give your all to the situation or to the experience, then you're not going to get what you needed to get out of it. And you may as well either not be on the show, not be a part of the process, or just go and get married and be together. Because last week, he said that he wasn't going to pick the girl because she was almost too perfect. Which sounds crazy. And if you like her, then why you ain't keep dating her? And then now she's talking about because of how he acted. And because they had a good time and they clicked and she liked him. But she going to pick somebody new because of how Sean felt about it. So basically, again, y'all just doing what y'all want to do. Getting along to get along. So then they talk about next week, and Dr. Nicole lets them know that actually, guys, next week you will be all dating whoever y'all gonna pick. Remember, Darren is the only one dating the same person. Everybody is gonna get these new blind dates. They all gonna be dating in the same place that everyone else is dating. So not just their partner is gonna be there with their date, they gonna be there with their date. And then you're gonna have the other groups in their dates there as well. So this gonna be quite interesting. I think it's a whole restaurant situation. And it's just the couples that are all dating each other. So that's gonna be real interesting. But I did see Darian and Kaya from last week walk on out, and Alexia like, y'all gonna let them hands go, honey, because they be out here holding hands in front of her. I'm like, he's so rude and disrespectful, honey. I don't know, I just don't feel like that's gonna work, but we're gonna see how this whole thing plays out. This is only week 2. We're gonna see what next week looks like. At least it looks like it's a little bit of drama, gonna be a little interesting, so y'all need to come back to this channel so y'all can hear how I think about next week's episode after Friday. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming back for my recap, my rundown, my review of Put a Ring on It on the OWN Network. Please like, comment, subscribe. And if you have not checked out the Ready to Love reunion, that should be up now. Also, The Bachelorette, I have also put up the last week's episode, week 4 of that. So definitely, if you're into dating, love, relationships, drama, tea, all that good stuff, definitely come back and check us out here at the Simply Stacey channel. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell so that you can always be notified each and every single time I post. And until next time, see ya.